Hey everyone, this is Veronica Chimney
Orlando's Chimney, hi.
and we're here for Chimney Chats.
Chimney Chats, woo!
So today, my husband wanted me to come up with a topic, and so I haven't told him the topic. I've been trying to think, and so I had a choice between two, and so I've decided on one, which is actually befitting for the holiday. It's Thanksgiving, so I wanted to talk about how do you show your mate, drum roll, how do you show your mate how much you appreciate them? Thanksgiving is all about the time of being thankful and appreciative for God's many blessings. But I'm also talking about just the blessings that you have when you're in a relationship. So how, Mr. Chimney, how do you show your mate how you appreciate them?
Wow. Okay, that's like being put on a major spot because that's a loaded question.
Okay. I'm not going to break it down. I'm not going to make it simple.
Well, I mean, we have to break that down. First of all, just being thankful, first of all, I think the first thing you have to do is just kind of go to old school. I have to thank God, first of all, for the mate, and which I do daily. I thank God for my greatest gift. And right.
So do you think, I'm sorry to stop you, but if something comes to mind, I'm going to ask, okay? So do you think that people on a regular basis thank God for the people in their lives? You wake up every morning and you say, what, thank you, God, for Veronica. I mean, what do you think? You thank God for me on a regular basis?
Me personally?
Yeah.
Not only do I thank God for you when I wake up, I kiss you on the forehead while you're sleeping, thanking God that you're there. Then I text it to you when I get to work, so I think I do a pretty good job. But honestly, the question is, do I think everyone? I don't think so. And honestly, I don't think people have a grateful attitude, period. So I don't think people are living in Thanksgiving. I think people are so bogged down with the hustle and bustle of societal life and the career path and whatever drives them that's outside of the relationship. I don't think they really have a thankful heart. Or even, honestly, I think people don't even understand what true Thanksgiving really is. And we talk a lot about gratitude. We talk a lot about our gratitude list. And so, we've been doing the gratitude list a long time. And just starting your day off being grateful and thankful.
Mm-hmm. I'm sorry too, because just a second ago when you said we don't really understand what Thanksgiving is, the first thing that actually came to my mind was like
Did you just cut me off again?
I'm sorry. But the first thing that came to mind was like mashed potatoes.
Okay.
And cornbread casserole.
You cut me off of mashed potatoes. Great.
Or macaroni and cheese and greens and cornbread.
Are you hungry?
I am.
Okay.
Well, that's what I think of immediately. I do think of those things. I'm thankful, but I think of those things too. But okay, so going back to my original question, I'm sorry, I digress. What are the ways you can demonstrate or show your mate that you're thankful or you appreciate them?
There's so many ways. I think one of the biggest things you can do, and this is the counselor in me talking, I think one of the first things you can do is first learn about your mate.
Okay.
So how can I show you how appreciative I am if I don't understand how to show you? And so first thing, how do you receive what I'm showing you? Because there's a lot of gifting I do that just you kind of like brush your shoulder off,
Okay.
You don't even understand that I'm doing something. But so there, there's like a lot of ways to show appreciation, but there are specific ways to show appreciation once you learn about your mate and how they like to be shown, or, that you appreciate them.
You just made me think of, oh my gosh, Chapman.
5 love languages, right?
That's it, 5 love languages.
That's what I'm thinking in my head.
5 love languages.
That's what I'm thinking in my head right now.
So, physical touch.
Oh yeah, physical touch, your acts of service,
words of affirmation.
You have gifts.
Yeah, receiving gifts.
Yeah, and let's see, what was that?
Acts of service.
Did we say acts of service?
Yeah.
Acts of service. Okay.
Was that 5?
This should have been safe. Acts of service, gifts, physical touch, words of affirmation, and which one did we just miss?
I don't know.
Physical touch, acts of service.
Words of affirmation, acts of service, physical touch, receiving gifts. That must not be our love language.
Your words of affirmation? Did you say that one already?
I don't know. Words of affirmation, acts of service, physical touch, receiving gifts, and don't make me Google that.
Oh,
I will Google it. Hold on. Oh my gosh, we didn't write it, so I could.
You know what?
No, I got it.
Wait a minute.
I got it.
I think that's the one you missing is the one that I have. It's the one for me.
Quality time.
That's mine. I knew
Oh
it was
my
mine.
God.
That's what I was sitting there thinking. I'm like, that was before you. I knew that was gonna be one of mine.
Oh.
You know why?
Why?
Because I just knew it.
Okay.
So once I zone in on your 5 love languages, which ones are more prevalent for you? Which I know acts of service is a huge one for you. You know, which also means devotion. I mean, so it's not just doing stuff. And quality time, of course, you know.
Like helping me clean up the kitchen or keeping the house clean.
Oh, yeah.
That's important.
Oh, yeah, exactly. I mean, honeydews are big things for you.
Yeah, they're like presents.
And, well, you know, but I love getting just because gifts for you. But what I found out is doing something unexpected around the house is just as important to you as me going and buying you something from the store or some jewelry or whatever.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, it's you know, it's about your love language as well. So the way I show appreciation to you is from my heart. Sometimes I just want to do whatever's on my heart, you know, and of course, you know, dealing with you know how you are, you know, I used to buy you flowers all the time, and then I got that bad comment that time, and then I told you I'm buying you this gold rose that you can keep forever.
But you know, but that's the thing, though. So people will do things that they like, and they're not really thinking about their partner.
Yeah.
So I think that's important.
Right.
Because I said I don't like flowers because they make me sad.
Right.
And so you would send me a picture of a flower.
Yeah.
Because I don't like them because they die.
Yeah.
Right. So you would give me a picture of a flower, and then I would print the flowers. So then I'd have it always. And then you got me the gold rose.
Yeah.
But so you listen to me, and I appreciate that. So I think that listening.
But it makes me sad not to be able to go buy flowers because I love going to the store and I'm telling the flower lady, get out of the way. Let me do this. I'm going to arrange my own bouquet for her, and this flower is going to mean this, and this arrangement is going to be, and favorite daisies are going to be in here, and I'm going to put the color of rose I want for the season or for what my heart is saying. And so there's so much that's inside of that bouquet of flowers, you know, whatever I'm doing, you know. So it's like I spend a lot of time at the store building this thing, and then I bring it to you, and it's like you love it, and then next day you're not happy. That's
because it starts to wither. But see, our love languages are different. There's some similarities, but our love languages are different. But then I appreciate you because you help me. So like even when we're looking for cards for people, like you'll spend, which is not very common. You have to understand that, but you'll spend like 45 minutes to an hour trying to find the right card. And I'm like, okay, those words, that sounds like something that I would say. So I want that card, and it'll take me like a good 2 minutes. And so while I'm ready to get out in 2 minutes, you want to stay in for 45 minutes because you're trying to find that perfect card. That's important to me, and I've learned that about you, so I stopped complaining about that.
Well, no, because okay, you got this wonderful card, and all of a sudden, at the end of the card, they mess it up. And so that one's got to go.
Yeah.
So now I'm on to the next one. And sometimes I have to go from place to place because I believe our Thanksgiving is an expression of our true gratitude. And so if I'm going to gift you, because I love you so much, and God knows I do, then I want to spend that time. If I'm going to do something, then why not spend that time to really make it valuable? And sometimes you don't even get it all. And sometimes I have to explain what I'm doing. But now you get more and more as we get older, but it's still from my heart, and so I think it should say that it's from my heart.
Right.
You know, it's be like
I get it.
You know, it's like I know some people that, you know, they'll go out and just pick something up and say I did something.
So one thing that I appreciate about you is you're all about quality time. So you do like quality time.
Yes.
But what I've had to learn was that's important for all couples. So one of the things that you like is going into encore. And I don't really enjoy that because it's loud and cluttered.
Of course, the music store here and where we live, so
Yeah,
I'm a musician, so of course I want to go to the music store.
Yeah, so I've learned to not complain, which is another way to show appreciation. I hope that you see that.
Oh,
and
yeah,
I'm not complaining like how much longer are we going to be in here. So that's important. That's important.
Right.
So as couples,
Right.
I need to sacrifice
right.
my desires in order to benefit. Oh my gosh, can you imagine if everybody would focus wholeheartedly on their spouse, on the needs of their spouse, and remove all selfish acting or thinking.
Right. All self motives.
Yeah.
Selfish motives.
That would be powerful.
Okay, so that takes me to my theory about relationships, period, where there's this misconception that a relationship is 50-50. And I think that is really wrong. I think it's so misguided because it's not biblical. But if the relationship was 50-50, that means you only get half of a person and another half of the person. 100%? I think a relationship is 100-100.
I agree.
And but let me tell you why the equation works so great when you think about it. Because at 100 of all give.
Wait, say that again.
100% all give. No take. All give. Even it's a give and take relationship. No take. Because see, we're biblically it's profound because when you give, you're sowing seeds, right? And the person doesn't have to take because at 100%, I'm giving you everything. The one thing that people don't realize in this matter is that if you're by yourself, you're going to give yourself what you need, hopefully. And most people are not complete people, but let's just say that they are. And the difference between a relationship, now you get to share that. Both people giving 100%. And so it's crossing over 100%. So both needs should be met because these are selfish acts of giving. So your needs are met because I'm giving you all of me. You're giving me all of you unselfishly. So you don't have to take and hold back so you can make sure you have enough. I don't have to take and hold back to make sure I have enough. Because we're giving that. What does that mean? We're giving appropriate time. We're giving appropriate love. We're giving appropriate gifts. We're giving all that stuff.
But let's be real though, because see, I'm all about the chimney chat, and let's be transparent. So not in all times or cases am I getting everything that I need. But you can also say the same thing, right?
Yeah. What are you talking about? Cut.
No, but seriously, because this is real. So there's some couples that they're like, I need this from my mate. I need this, and they're not getting that. And so, how do you think the best way to communicate your needs? I thought about the whole love tank. Announcing, proclaiming that your love tank is empty and you need some help with it. But what other ways can people talk about that?
Well, I think we have to back up because, first of all, people don't even know what a love tank is.
Okay.
So not only are relationships completely ignorant of each other's needs, and I'm not saying it in a mean way, they just don't know what each other really needs because they're constantly projecting what they want the person to need.
Right.
So that's the first thing. You got to be unselfish in order to really understand what the other person needs, or at least be open to hear. So you can at least have it inside of you to know that, hey, that's not what they really want. Then on top of that, the conversation has to happen. Communication has to. I'm not a mind reader, and I don't want to be. I want you to tell me. Listen, Orlando, I need this, and I want to be mature enough to say, okay, I'm falling short there. So how do I fix that? Well, it's not rocket science. Just do it.
Right. That's good.
So when your heart's in the right place, it's not like I have to do this or do that to rearrange for me to just do this. It just means I just need to make that step.
But that's the piece that's important, to communicate it. And so if I didn't communicate, then I kept it all inside, then eventually what happens is I become very frustrated.
Right.
And then frustration leads to anger, and then you become bitter, and then you begin to have that cycle.
The ugly word, resentment.
Resentment, and it's all because I needed your help on mopping the floor last week. I mean, just that's raggedy. But
I didn't know you needed help mopping the floor.
No,
I was busy.
That was an example.
I'm just kidding.
Okay, but if I wasn't kidding.
Well, you should have told me, but you should have told me.
No, that was an example.
Well,
that was just an example.
I'm just saying. I'm giving you a great example.
But let's just say hypothetically that was the case. Actually,
Right.
it wasn't even mopping. Let's use something that's true.
Okay.
Like, you don't wash dishes very well.
I can't see anymore.
Well, then you need to put on glasses when you wash dishes.
I don't even put on glasses to read. Did you not hear my Bible study the other night?
Okay, so let's talk about that. So then, what are we going to do about
We're
it?
gonna make the kids wash dishes.
Okay, so that was easy. So, I mean, they do wash dishes, but you mean like all the time?
Yeah, all the time. We work, they wash dishes. It's no
So what
problem.
you're saying is they, because remember, we only have one that's here now. So
Let's give her money.
okay, that's another discussion, like for chores or something. So I'm with you.
I'll pay her off.
Okay, but what if
I used to wash dishes very well.
you don't wash dishes very good at all? In
I
fact,
can't see the stuff.
You don't need to touch the kitchen. Don't touch the dish.
Why you spray my dirty laundry out
I'm not.
all over the world?
I'm saying that you'd be very good in a number of things. My goodness,
Thank
you just don't wash dishes very well. So what that means
My
is
mom was
that,
gonna be so disappointed.
Mom, I'm so sorry. He does so many other things so very well. He just can't see. He needs to put on his glasses. Okay, but anyway, the point is we have to communicate that. I'm sorry for putting that out there like that. But,
That's okay.
But
That's
I
okay.
wanted to give a true live example. I wanted to have an example of what that means, right?
Right.
Okay.
Okay. So how do we relate that back to gifting?
So I think of immediately acts of service.
Oh, now you're talking. That's your thing.
Yeah.
Acts of service is like her numero uno. It's like the big acts of service. So
What is that?
I don't know.
What even mean?
I don't know.
It is. I like partnership. I like to fix the bed together. I like to
Well, I like that too.
clean up the kitchen together. I like
Right.
to, if I'm going to vacuum, I want to not vacuum together, but I just want us to be engaged.
But you're also not being transparent either, because you love coming in the bedroom with the bed already made and everything put up. So you like that. But I do appreciate that you like
That
the
is
part.
true.
But you do like the other.
So if you want to take the initiative and just go ahead and do it all.
go ahead and do it, because you don't like to make the bed.
And that's like a present to me.
Yeah.
It's like a present. Okay, but your love language. So you like quality time. You like spending time. I
Yes.
love what you said. So first you have to even understand what your partner needs, right?
Yeah,
So you like quality time.
I do.
Yeah. Acts of service is not really yours, but I think it's like number 3 maybe. If I can remember correctly. Quality time was one. You're actually all of them. Physical touch. You like gifts.
Well, it can't be all of them. Gifts it. Let me
I don't
tell
know.
you
You're pretty needy, so that's not an insult.
something. You're throwing me under the bus today. What is this?
I'm needy too. I'm needy too. I am.
They say we're needy.
Okay, honey, we're needy. We're needy.
Okay.
Some more than others, but yes,
Oh,
I agree.
wow. Did y'all hear that? Okay.
Okay, so, all right, so acknowledge, I'm with you though, I'm with you. So acknowledge and understand the needs. And then what? What other ways can couples show that they appreciate one another? Tell each other?
Oh, yeah, you got to communicate it. You've got to communicate it, but you got to show it.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, I've literally heard couples that will say, well, I'm not about talking it, I'm about showing it. Well, I don't know anyone that does not want to hear I love you. And
Yeah,
you can show it.
right.
Oh, I'll pay the bills, I do this, I give presents on the special days, but that's all planned out nonsense. I mean, it's not nonsense, but it's just repetitious obligation.
No.
But,
I've
you know-
heard people say though,
Yeah, and it's so
need to-
sad.
I don't need to tell you that I love you. You should know because I do blah 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 blah. I do this.
Yeah, but that's nonsense, because at the end of the day, you should be overwhelmed. Hold on, just give me 1 second.
Shall I time it?
So hard. A person in a relationship at moments, definitely at moments, should be able to look across the room and be overwhelmed at the love that's in their heart for their mate. In that particular moment, there's absolutely no way that you can't go grab their hand and just tell them I love you, how much I love you. Thank God for you in my life.
Yeah, true.
And the sad part is people don't have those moments, and then they have them so few and far between.
Okay.
I have them all the time.
Okay.
Yeah.
So.
And so,
Okay.
so I think we're missing so many fundamental aspects of relationships, as well as the ego. Oh, let's not even talk about the ego and our pride. How does ego and pride? I just got to throw this curveball. I got to throw this curveball in there, because how does ego and pride come into the relationship so heavily that it's more important that you satisfy your intellectual stubbornness. That's a good word. Intellectual stubbornness, other than your mate.
Wow. Well, yeah, that's good.
And so that type of person is never going to satisfy the other person with gratitude and thanksgiving.
Yeah, that's true. But you make me think of a friend of mine told me that she has never said I'm sorry to her husband, and he has never said I'm sorry. So a lot of people they don't use those words, I'm sorry, because that's kind of I'm sorry. That takes a lot of courage. A lot of courage to say, you know what, I was wrong and I am sorry. And I think,
okay.
Why is that funny? I think that's important.
Oh, it's absolutely important and necessary.
Yes, I think it's necessary. Okay.
Areas of opportunity for some people.
That
I
is
don't
an
know.
area of opportunity. Yes.
Okay.
I admit when I'm wrong, and I like to say I'm sorry. I need to work on that.
Okay, let's.
Call it out.
You just said I like to admit when I'm wrong, and I like to say I'm sorry. Then you said I'm gonna work on it. So I'm confused at this point.
No. So let me clarify.
Oh, please do.
I like to apologize when I'm wrong.
Okay.
My area of opportunity.
You're never wrong. Okay, I got you.
No, I'm wrong. I'm wrong a lot, because I don't know everything, nor do I pretend to.
Oh, baby, you come here. It's okay.
No,
Come
no,
here.
it's an area of opportunity.
It's okay.
To say, but anyway, a friend of mine.
I get it.
My friend shared with me. She said that it's hard for me to say I'm sorry, and I said, I get it. I understand. It is hard for me to say I'm sorry too.
Yeah.
Because sometimes there's a misunderstanding, even between us. There's just a misunderstanding. You're on one page and I'm on another, and then I'm just frustrated and you're frustrated, and I owe you an apology for that misunderstanding. Sometimes.
But do you?
Sometimes.
Very, very few times.
Yeah.
But do you know that's Thanksgiving?
Yeah.
That's gifting your mate.
Yeah.
To be vulnerable enough to repent. I'm using that. I'm just like, man, this is so biblical, and it should be.
Good. Yeah.
Because the first institution that God made, and I don't want to really talk about the Bible tonight, but it was the family, it was the relationship. It wasn't even marriage, it wasn't even the church, it was just a relationship. And in that, I know God put in our DNA for all of these things to happen perfectly.
Yeah.
And that's where I was talking about the ego creeping in, that poison.
Yeah.
It's like that poison where we can't even come together. Oh, I gotta be right. I'm right. You got the neck shaking and carrying on, all this nonsense. Next thing you know, you're not talking to each other for 5 days. This is foolishness.
Yeah,
but do you know that most people have to go through that and grow past that, because society teaches you how to be so competitive.
Yeah, that's true.
So you bring it home.
That's true.
Your kids are competitive. The dog is competitive. Everybody's competitive in the house because society wants you to push. Profit. Mm-hmm. And everything is big. When you come home and try to translate that to your home, then it's messed up. Because you can't translate the business world with your family. It doesn't work that way. This is the core. Yeah. That's extra. That's outside of the realm of what God created.
That's good.
And so it hurts my heart when I see people that can't really even get along long enough. They love each other. And that's what's so sad. But they don't make it.
Ooh, but do they like each other?
Oh, don't go there. Yeah, like.
Like, do you enjoy being with that person? Like,
right.
So to me, what's important would be laughing and talking.
Right.
I want to be able to pick up the phone and talk to you Not about church, not about work. I just want to talk. I just want to talk. I just want to talk about.
Throwing shade.
No, throwing shade. I'm just saying, I like to talk about things that, because I'm engulfed in work all day. And then we are embraced with our church. And so in order for us to remember who we are, it's so important for me to talk about tomato sauce on the pizza or something that has nothing to do with either of those things. But we've done a very good job at that, because I'll say, I don't want to talk about work and I don't want to talk about church.
Right.
I just don't want to.
Yeah.
So anyway.
Well,
okay,
that's
so
understandable.
so what did you say? I needed to, or we couples need to remember to be in tune with what your mate needs. I like that. That's a good takeaway. And then number 2, you said to be in touch with the love languages, which we did not write. That's by Chapman.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you could Google that.
Dean
Find
Chapman
that.
or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. But it's good because it just breaks down the love language. And then
I can't think of his name.
I would even encourage couples to. Oh wait. I would even. No. I would encourage couples to even look at that, because it helps them identify the love language and then apply. And then you also said talking and listening. Yeah, who's that? Oh, I can't see that. So talking and listening, and then what else did you say?
So 5 love languages.
Yeah. Oh, Gary Chapman. The 5 love languages.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's good.
See, I couldn't even read that.
And then, what else did you say? Just listening and saying I'm sorry. Those
Okay,
things
so
are
take
important.
away, get your ego and pride out of there. All those things you just said, but let's get our ego and pride out of the relationship. Everybody just needs to understand that's pausing.
That's true.
And that's why the Bible says pride comes before the fall.
Yeah.
What fall? Well, anything is going to decrease. That's what falling is decreasing. Anything is going to decrease if you're living with your pride out there, your ego out there. You're not going to be able to even attain the blessings of God properly. So how can you bring that to your home? And then learn your mate. Learn how they like to be touched, how they like to be held. Learn what's really important. Learn true intimacy. True intimacy. Which is so funny for me.
Intimacy is not always about sex.
It's not a sexual deal. It's not always. It's not.
Right.
I mean, think about it. We talk about intimacy with God.
Well, I'm talking about when you look at the
relationships.
term, when you Google that term, there's several descriptions of intimacy. That happens to be one of them.
Right.
But I wanted to clarify, there's an array of intimacy. So just chit-chatting, to me, this moment, this is kind of intimate.
This is very intimate.
Right. So going to have coffee the other day, when we had coffee,
right,
that's intimate to me. That may not be intimate to some
people.
people.
That's our quality time.
Yeah. Or a cup of tea. Ooh, green tea sounds good, but yeah.
Some oolong.
And green tea.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Want some?
Yeah. Do you? Is it too late? Okay, I digressed.
Okay.
So
we take that away, and then let's talk about true Thanksgiving in this season.
Mm-hmm.
So even off of the relationship, how I treat you is going to be a great indicator of how I treat others outside of this relationship.
Oh.
How I treat you is a great indicator of how I treat our kids. We have 5 girls.
Yeah.
And a son. So and a godson that we have to nurture, and how we treat each other.
Yeah.
That's got to bleed over into everything we do.
Yeah, it's like a domino effect.
But watch this. This is where it hurts my heart, because people are treating their relationship, it's coming from what's outside of the relationship coming in, instead of creating here and going out.
That's good.
Right?
Yeah.
Don't you think so?
No, I agree, 100%.
So
No,
how can we truly be thankful in this season? You have to go back to God. You have to thank God for what He blesses you with.
Yeah.
And if you're in a relationship, God chose it or you chose it, one or the other, but it's there.
Right.
There was a choice made. Why not make the best out of it?
I agree.
Put your pride aside, put your ego aside, and try to have the best relationship possible.
And enjoy it.
And enjoy it.
Enjoy
you
it.
made a life commitment.
Yeah.
Why not? What are you doing?
Yeah.
Right?
Talk about learning. I don't think everybody needs to go through this.
Yeah.
So many people are pretending happiness. And that's something that I just don't pretend happy couples. That's not a good thing.
Mm-mm.
So I would just recommend for all couples to turn that pretend happiness around
make it real.
and make it
real.
And make
it's
it real.
so much better.
Make it
so
real.
much better.
Make it real.
Because pretend happiness it just equals misery.
Yeah, it does. savor the moment and relationships and laugh a lot and pray a lot. Thank you for praying for me in the morning.
Thank you for praying for me in the morning.
For me. So
yes.
All right, so I think our time is up.
Yeah, we're about out.
Okay. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Again, this is Chimney Chats, and we'll be back soon.
Yeah.
Thank you for viewing and watching, and we'll see you shortly.
Soon. Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.